Hi, my name is Heather Dighton, and I'd love to walk you through our initial design process for a new vocabulary app in mind. This app is focused on the goal learning catered to the user's specific needs. We'll review our process to approach this goal through a series of analysis, testing, and early prototypes. Our first step in our design process was a competitor analysis. We combed through a series of similar apps, noting features that proved successful to our vision, which we'd like to replicate, as well as various components to avoid that don't speak to our overall goal. Next, we hosted user interviews to discover essential behaviors around learning and habits with other apps to help us hone in on where to focus our design efforts. With this background information, we're able to create a user persona. So let's introduce you to Michael. He is 31, married with a young family. He currently works in sales and has a hefty 2-hour commute to work each day. He uses this time to listen to audiobooks and podcasts focused on business, but he's realizing his grasp of heavy business terminology is lacking. He wants an effective method to build his comprehension. As a father and a businessman, he understands education is key for growth, and he's been toying with the idea of going back to school. He says, I've been looking at getting a master's degree in business, and I want to start now to build my business knowledge so I'm more prepared. So how can we best help Michael? Simply put, Michael says, I'm looking for a way to learn business terminology in a few minutes each day. I'd like to feel more prepared in business conversations and in podcasts I listen to during my daily commutes. With this in mind, let's break down problem areas for Michael. So how can we build confidence for Michael? Creating the ability for custom vocabulary sets catered towards business, travel, medical, or whatever the user needs to focus on. How can we make sure Michael is comfortable using these new words in conversation? We can make him comfortable by having the ability for users like him to customize definitions and make them more applicable to their daily life. And how do we overcome Michael's hesitation? We can make sign-in and the onboarding process as simple as possible. Get rid of the fluff and get the user started right away. We began to sketch out some user flows to demonstrate how we can bring Michael into the app and create flashcards, as well as shown here, how to customize flashcards in his study sets to better fit his needs. These user flows help us organize our app's information architecture to ensure we're answering the needs of the user while keeping streamlined with simple and clear tasks. Now our efforts start to take shape in these early low-fidelity prototypes. These start to show how a user would interact with our app, starting at the sign-in page, progressing to onboarding tutorial, and then to creating and then editing vocabulary flashcards. Although these are raw, hand-drawn illustrations, we start to understand how the user might interact with our app. With our low-fidelity prototypes in hand, we began our user testing research. Each user walked through 4 tasks with a scenario in mind. This helped us see how a potential user would interact with our app in real life. We noticed hesitations, we had many questions about why behind certain features, and we also saw a lot of success in navigating the app. The information was crucial to help us make improvements with each feature. I took a lot of notes from each user's interview and tweaked our prototypes to answer some concerns. One user voiced concern on the lack of a Google single sign-on. They mentioned shying away from other apps without this specifically from a security standpoint. Done. Nearly every user noted the lack of a progress bar in the onboarding. Other items like condensing the flashcard edit feature from 3 steps to 1 screen and incorporating a quiz to jumpstart a user in the experience were also added to the prototypes and help build a positive experience. So we made great progress, but we have much more to uncover. As we've made revisions to our initial prototypes, we need to test these again and again to get more feedback. We also can build in more features that users like Michael can benefit from in our app. These features will follow the same process as our initial 2 tasks, and as these features come to life, it will be beneficial to use software to help mock up a high-fidelity prototype to further help us flesh out our designs and user flows. So what are some key learnings gained from this process? The sooner we get ideas out of our head and on paper, the sooner we can start visualizing and tweaking our designs for the better. At first I felt hesitant, and the first drafts were always hideous, but it gets us on the design road and toward our goal. I also greatly underestimated the impact of user testing on the iteration process. Users highlight areas we may overlook or bring up questions that can help us restructure the product in a more efficient way. Simplify. In early user flows and wireframes, it's easy to get caught up in the product being so versatile. The user report is helpful to separate those must-have features required for usability versus the nice-to-have additions. And with that, having a main goal in mind for our users help us stay on track. It's easy to get excited with a tangent and get off course. As we circle back to our main goal and ask ourselves how we're answering this with each step, we keep ourselves focused. This was a fascinating process. Thanks for following along.